It is the Matt Murphy Radio Show, Super Talk 99.7 WTN, just after 5 o'clock. Good afternoon. How's it going, everyone? Hope you're having a great afternoon, a great day so far. We'll try to get you home in the proper fashion. You know, occasionally I try to commiserate with those of you who get into your cars maybe at 4:30, 4:45, 5 o'clock. You get into the car, you get it nice and cool, get it cooled down a little bit. And then off you go. You're heading on home. And sometimes, for some of you, it might take 10 minutes. For some of you, it might take, half hour, 45 minutes or whatever. And occasionally, because, Jackson, you mentioned this just a day or so ago. You said, one of the bonuses, and there aren't many, but one of the bonuses of working this show is what?
No traffic on the way home.
I cannot hear you. Now I can hear you.
I was in Weaver mode. My fault. Sorry, traffic on the way home.
Traffic on the way home. Yeah, you don't have to deal with the heavy flow, as they say. But occasionally, and I don't either. And it's one of the beautiful things about working the afternoon drive time. Not only do I get to talk to all of you who are in your automobiles, and thank you, every single one of you. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and not you. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you. I get to talk with you. I get to hopefully inform and entertain you, and maybe make the drive a little more pleasant in some form or fashion. Oftentimes that's in the form of yelling. But occasionally I like to commiserate with you. And I do that by pulling up my my traffic map on my phone, which I've just done.
That's torture.
My God.
Oh, it's awful.
It is brutal. The entire thumb of the loop. I look at a map of Nashville, and the loop is like your thumbprint. It's like you're holding up your thumb. That's what the loop is, your little thumb there. And the entire loop is red. Entire loop.
It's me and you both used to get off the air at 3.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Go home about 3:45, 4 o'clock a lot of times.
And that traffic was brutal.
Vicious.
And we live in a similar area. So we're taking the same way home.
And that 40?
At 40 East is a nightmare.
It's not as bad as 24. Not as bad as 24. But
the thing is that split causes backups on 40.
Well, that's right. It does before you get to it.
That 24-40 split is the worst part of that traffic.
It's just gross. And today is no exception. So I'm feeling for you. If you're stuck in it, all I can tell you is that it'll be there when you get there, unless what it is ice cream, and then maybe it won't be there. Maybe it'll just be a puddle of nothing. But for the most part, it'll be there when you get there. You know what? Alleviate the pain of sitting in traffic by giving us a call or a super text. That's right. I said it. Text and drive. 615-737-9986.
Well,
no, is that not good? Is that a bad? That's not a good.
We run some promos that tell you not to do that. Let's go ahead and not text.
Let's go.
But if you're just sitting parked in traffic, standstill traffic, like a lot of people I know are, give us a text.
You know what I would like? I'd like some photos. I'd like some photographs from on the super text line of folks stuck in traffic. 615-737-9986. Earlier today, a Democrat who makes regular appearances on Fox News had something to say about the current state of immigration, specifically illegal immigration in the United States of America. And for the better part of an hour, I had a conversation with Representative Afton Bain about this morning. If you missed earlier in the show, I explained that Afton reached out to me after I've had several conversations about her and her candidacy for the 7th Congressional District. Mark Green is retiring. A number of Republicans are running to replace him. 2 Democrats are running in their primary to face off against the Republican victor, be it, whoever it might be. Those 2 Democrats are Bo Mitchell and Afton Bain. Well, we've had Afton on the show in the past, and I disagree with her politics, and she disagrees with mine. But that doesn't mean that we cannot continue to discuss. And I invite all comers on this radio show, and I would appreciate it if more Democrats took me up on it. I'm just here to allow you to present your viewpoint. Just be an honest actor and present your view and be ready, willing, and able to defend it. That said, Afton asked me if I wanted to have some coffee, and I did. And we had a very pleasant hour or so long conversation about immigration, about her activity during the ICE raids of a couple of weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago in Nashville, about what the response was. I don't think I'm saying, the response was The negative response was in some ways over the top, she felt like, in some of the personal communication that she received from anonymous people, and I can understand that too. But I feel like what she did was over the top. So there it is, in a different way. That said, we discussed our differences of opinion on the issue of illegal immigration and a difference of opinion on what to do about legalizing or bringing the immigration process into the 2025 year in as much as we can create better legal avenues. And I don't have anything against having those discussions, but I think you have to deal with the illegal alien problem first. And that's where some of this kind of starts breaking down. Now, I mentioned earlier today that ICE and federal immigration officials were having a face-off with protesters who more and more are being encouraged by leftist Democrats to engage in street violence. And boy, have the protesters responded. Over the last week, we've seen 2 violent incidences that have left ICE agents shot as a result of the level of violence. And you know what? You can watch CNN all day long and twice on Sunday, and you won't see anything about it on #NeverCNN because it doesn't fit their damn narrative. Well, Jessica Tarlov is a Democrat strategist, and she appears on Fox News as a Democrat voice from time to time, and she had this to say.
They need to cooperate with ICE to hand over people who have been convicted of something. I'm not talking about crossing the border as something that is convictable. I'm saying that if you commit a crime once you are on U.S. soil, you should be turned over to ICE. And I think that's an easy exchange. And that's what people voted for in November. And you would have a much stronger case against the overreach that we're seeing in terms of what ICE is doing now that is not commensurate with what the American public wants. They didn't vote for people to show up at Home Depots. They didn't vote for people to show up at immigration courts. They didn't vote for the fact that there's new data out from Cato that 65% of the people that ICE has taken into custody have had no convictions. They need.
Okay, so I want you to catch the last portion, and this is from, once again, Jessica Tarlov. She is a part of the Five. I never watch the Five. Obviously, I'm a little busy when the Five is on, but it used to be one of my go-tos. I enjoyed the exchange of ideas. But Tarlov is kind of the token leftist on that show. And listen to what she says, and I want to hear from you because I don't think she knows what the hell she's talking about. I promised on the X machine that I would ask the audience today because I speculate that this is exactly what Trump voters voted to support. Here's what Tarlov said again.
The American public wants. They didn't vote for people to show up at Home Depots. They didn't vote for people to show up at immigration courts. They didn't vote for the fact that there's new data out from Cato that 65% of the people that ICE has taken into custody have had no conviction.
She says you didn't vote for people to show up at detention, immigration court, and have them arrested, that you did not vote for ICE to show up at Home Depot. As I told Ms. Bain earlier today, Representative Bain, and I've said to you regularly, I understand we're talking about human beings, and I feel bad for them. I feel bad for the people that were lied to by Democrats all these many years ago. Democrats lied to them, and some Republicans. They lied to them and they told these illegal aliens that if you just come here and lay low long enough and don't commit any other crimes, that everything will be fine and you'll be allowed to stay. And it was never true. It was never true. And it never will be. There have to be rules. And in order for those rules to matter at all, we have to follow them. And in order for us to follow them at all, there have to be consequences for those breaking the rules, because otherwise, why have the rules to begin with? And one of those consequences would be you have to go back and you have to start the process over again. Now, I believe that we will get to a point in this process, whether it's 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, in terms of length of time being here, that at some point we have scratched the surface enough that we need to draw the undocumented illegal alien out of the shadows and figure out a way that we can either process them, find them, punish them in some fashion for their illegal activity, and allow them to stay. There are some that would suggest that we just root them all up and send them all home. And at that point, you're talking about 35 million people is my best estimate. It's somewhere between 0 and 35 million that we have to. I mean, we're all going to draw the line in a slightly different place. 9009 said, I voted for the policy that you are illegal, you get ejected. 0404 says, for all that, bring it. If 65% didn't commit a crime, then put them through the process. 4632, that's exactly why I voted for Trump. 1998, this is exactly what I voted for. Exactly. 8550, 1 billion% what I voted for. I think that's right. Dawn Jones, I can't stand her. 1733, I can't tell if you're being sarcastic about State Representative Bean being the cutest little communist in Tennessee or not. She isn't a looker by any means. Maybe she looks better in person. I'm just being funny. I'm just being funny. I don't see people by their looks. I see people based on what's in their heart. I'll leave it up to you to decide the rest. 5281, she's a straight-up dummy. That's exactly why we voted for Trump. And on and on and on it goes. Send the ball home. Jay says, I don't think people discuss the specifics of getting rid of the bad hombres. It's a blanket. I don't care where they get them from. Look, you ran the risk, and you should have known this, that if you jumped the line and did not do it the appropriate way, you ran the risk of potentially it coming back to bite you on the tuchus, and now that is happening. You made that bed. I did not. And you probably made it full of promises. Promises by Democrats that they would make it okay. Well, they didn't make it okay. And America is pushing back because America is not going to be France. We are not going to be Europe. We see what's happening in Europe with unvetted and unfettered immigration of all sorts and shapes and sizes, and what that can do to culture. And we want to absorb positive aspects of culture from around the world, but we're not prepared to absorb the rest. And we're certainly, sure as hell, not going to absorb the lawbreakers. Hello, Ed. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. I hope your mending continues to go well.
Yes, sir.
I signed up for every bit of the eviction of the illegal immigrants in the United States, and it to me, what you're talking about the Epstein thing, to me, that's a double standard. There's a double standard. There's a standard for someone that has influence and power. They don't get in trouble. They don't get held accountable, just like illegal aliens. If we don't at some point start to hold those folks accountable and exit them from our economic system and our citizen pool, then that is a double standard, and then that reduces the validity and worth of your citizenship and mine if we do not rid the United States of all of those people. We do not have a two-class system in the United States. It is one. It is not illegal and legal. It should just be legal citizens that are in the United States, and I appreciate you taking my call.
Thank you very much for it, Ed. I mean, I appreciate the perspective. I might have a slight variance of your perspective on that, but I certainly appreciate that, and it's shared by many, many of the listeners of this audience. I understand that we bear some of the responsibility in some of this, and for those who have grown such lengthy roots in America and in American culture, frankly, those individuals that came here even illegally 20 years ago, 25 years ago, so many years ago, those that have the gumption and the wherewithal to try to get out of the shadows have already done so in a lot of ways. I mean, there are mechanisms by which you can do it. It's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's hard as hell. But you can do it if you truly desire to. Coming up in just a couple of moments, I mentioned that Gavin Newsom was in East Tennessee. We'll follow up on that story. Plus, a great story, a fabulous story about two very, very deserving individuals. And by deserving, I mean deserving of going into jail. We'll share that story with you coming up next. Plus, Nincompoops later on in the hour at Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Yes, he does. Ken Weaver's all over the state of Tennessee, all over the United States of America, nay, the world with the news. He's also back for Nincompoops in the news.
Yes,
and that's coming up right after the bottom of the hour news. And Ken, I don't know if you know this or not, but I know you were away dealing with that AC issue yesterday. But
yes, sir.
Jay Harper in the newsroom, he did you proud, buddy.
That's way to go, brother Jay Harper.
He kept it going in the newsroom. The newsroom streak is officially at 3 Nincompoops. How about that?
Yeah.
I got you today, though.
I don't know. I got a pretty good one myself.
Where's yours from, Murph?
I'm not telling you.
We're not doing this again today.
I'm not telling you. Ken gets to go first because he's representing the newsroom. And then we'll play some rock, paper, scissors. We'll play odds and evens. You ever played odds and evens there, Jackson?
Why don't we throw with our left hand?
Here, no, this is how you play odds and evens. This is how you play odds and evens. I heard that. You hear that, Ken? That's just mean.
I did.
Throw with our left hand. That's just mean, man. All right, this is how we play odds and evens. Just all you have to say is odd or even. That's all you have to say, Jackson. Odd or even.
This seems like a game I'm destined to lose.
All you have to say, odd or
I feel
even.
like Ken has to be the odd or even.
No, all you have to say is odd or even.
Even.
So you're right. So you get to go. You get to go second. See, I didn't cheat you. I wish you'd have said odd, and I'd have thrown that up for you. Huh?
Not on Super Talk TV.
Oh. Sorry. Y'all don't screen capture that. All right, so that's on the way after the real news on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. 1221 said, I'd check Afton Bean for ticks. Come on now. Y'all be good. Y'all be good.
I'll take that. I'll take text we shouldn't have read out loud for 200, Ken.
I know. I probably should. I probably should preview them. This one I already previewed. I'll speak to this right before Ken's newscast. 8507. The late, great Phil Valentine called it Van Gogh listening. And y'all that have been around, longer than Matt Murphy know what he meant by that. People that kind of listen, and don't hear all of the story or just hear what they want to hear. Well, there's Van Gogh listening, and then there's Helen Keller listening. And 8507, I'm going to go ahead and accuse you of Helen Keller listening because 8507 says, you support the Epstein excuse. It shows your true colors. You guys support Trump regardless. Have you even listened to the show, dude? Get your facts straight and get back to me if you have the ability. We're going to talk Superman coming up in a couple of minutes. We're going to talk James Comey and John Brennan coming up in a couple of minutes. We've got a Biden doctor update plus Nincompoops in the news. Real news now on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, Jackson, I just a loyal listener took a screenshot. I just sent you something on your phone. I want you to respond to that in real time. Just sent you a little something. That's
looks
fake
very
news
similar
right
to the
there.
one I went back and took during the break.
Photoshop is it's getting better and better every day. I'll just say that.
That's the exact screenshot I took during the break.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Fake news. All fake news. I asked Valerie, our loyal listener, originally from Oregon, to send me that screenshot that she sent originally on the super text line because I'll probably go ahead and make that my profile pic at some point or another. Don't you think that'd be appropriate?
I love it. I might make it my, you can make like a header.
Oh, yeah. Someone asked, by the way, Jackson, 5811, who's obviously not only a loyal listener of Super Talk 99.7 WTN, but peruses the radio dial and dabbles into our sports brother station over at the Zone 104.5. And this person has asked, in advance of Nincompoops in the news, they want to know, Jackson, who gives you more grief, Buck or Murphy?
Ooh, it's definitely Buck.
All right. Well, in that case, 5811, I shall double my efforts.
You can try.
Better.
You gotta remember, I've been with you, we said 9 days now?
Yeah, 9 days.
I was a Buck for 2 years.
Yeah.
So he's also got a lot more on me.
And you're not even, and you've been removed from the Buck Rising Show.
I moved to cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons.
And we hope to have you for a long, long time on the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. How about that?
We're having a good time.
Yes, sir. Maybe if Ken Weaver would let you win Nincompoops in the News once or twice, you might stick around.
I'm not gonna do it.
Ken says, not gonna do it. It's time for Nincompoops in the News. You know what the news is by now. You've opined on said same. It's time to find those Nincompoops. Weaver looks, Murphy looks, Jackson looks. We present and you vote. And it's time to get with it. Mr. Weaver, you got yourself a nincompoop over there?
I do. I have
right.
2 in case one of you boys used this yesterday.
All right. We're ready to go.
All right. So I'm going to go with my first one.
Okay.
Florida man hijacks Key West sightseeing train for meth-fueled joyride on his birthday, and he picks up passengers while he's at it.
All right. Let's go to number 2.
That was a much better,
Son of a biscuit eater.
much
But,
better delivery than you did.
Right. I mean, you would still win, Ken, because you're going to deliver the story so much better. But, yeah, that story, I actually had that story, and believe it or not, Jackson had the same story yesterday. And
all 3 of us.
I mean, so all 3 of us, you, me, and Jackson, picked that Key West story because it's just that good. How do you pronounce that word, by the way?
Which word?
Conch.
Oh, that's conch.
See, I went conch too, and everybody says that the Key West people say conch. But, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it is
Maybe
conch.
it is. I mean, I got dressed down for it. But, all right, let's go to number 2, Brother Ken.
All right, this one's right here in Music City, boys. A Nashville man calls 911 for cigarettes 10 times in 1 week.
Was he trying to quit?
The Nashville Department of Emergency Communications urging the community to call 911 if you're dealing with an emergency. But Channel 4 reports the DEC says a man called 911 10 times throughout the week, not for an emergency, but for his need for cigarettes. One spokesperson says, see smoke? Yes, call 911. Need smokes? No. Call literally anyone else. DEC explained to the man that 911 doesn't do smoke runs. He disagreed loudly, and then he called again and again. He persisted because clearly we were just being difficult. Later, officers with the Metro Nashville Police Department delivered the man a pair of handcuffs to wear, not nice? Cigarettes.
Isn't that nice?
Went to jail for demanding cigarettes.
I don't think you can smoke in jail anymore either. So
I don't think you can either.
So he was like, "Sir, this line is for just a. I assure you that it's an emergency.
It is a nicotine emergency."
Sir, you're allowed 1 phone call. I'd just rather have a smoke.
Yeah, can I just get a pack of smokes? Thanks a lot. I don't know.
Anyway, they don't name the fella.
Did you tell me that you smoked at one time?
I did for about 20 years off and on.
Yeah. I smoked for 15 to 30. I smoked for 17 years. And when I quit, I was smoking about a pack and a half a day. And let me tell you something. When you run out, it becomes an emergency.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, I get it.
It does. In fact, I quit one time, and my wife a week later said, start it up again.
That's funny. You know, my best piece of advice, Ken, for people trying to quit, and I could do a show on this because my grandpa taught me these 2 things. One, and it seemed so stupid when he said it to me because I was smoking and I was wanting to quit. But it seemed so dumb to me at the time, but it made crystal clear sense when I finally quit. He said, the only thing you need to quit is to really want to.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it. And I was like, that's stupid. That's dumb. But when I really wanted to quit, when I really wanted it and I had that clarity, I quit.
Yep.
And the other thing that he taught me, and I did this too, Ken, he said, the one piece of advice I'll give you, boy, he called me boy, is one piece of advice I'll give you, boy. He said, always keep a pack on you. And I'm like, sir? And he's like, keep them around you. He said, the mistake that people make is that they get them away from them, and it drives you crazy that there aren't any. He said, I kept a pack of cigarettes on me for 2 years after I quit smoking because I decided that if cigarettes were going to beat me, they're right there. All I have to do is pick them up. If I'm going to admit that I'm not as strong as a cigarette, here they are. And he said, it's not the cigarette that's making you smoke. You're making you smoke.
Yes, that is it exactly.
And it's true. Anyway, no, that's a good one. Good one. Cigarette guy calls 911. Mr. Jackson, you won odds or evens, so you get to go next.
I'm going out to Bluefield, West Virginia. 2 people face multiple charges after they were caught allegedly having.
You and I are sourcing from the same place. This is a problem. Dad, damn it, I should never have let him go. Yeah, we're even.
Having sexual relations while driving a stolen RV. Patrolman Ham attempted to pull over a car. He saw a white RV being driven eastbound on Bluefield Avenue. According to the complaint, the officer saw a naked woman straddling a man who was driving the RV. Once the RV came to a stop a half mile after the officer turned his lights on, the officer was notified by a passerby that the man and woman had changed seats while pulling over. The woman, identified as Shannon Bryant, was sitting in the driver's seat when the officer reached the driver's side window. The man, identified as Matthew McDonald, was in the passenger seat. When asked what they were doing...
You better not quote her. You better figure it out.
When asked what they were doing, Bryant reportedly admitted to the officer that they were... having relations.
She said, she said, yeah, we're bleep. Anyway.
Both people were taken out of the vehicle to allow for further investigation. While exiting the RV, Bryant appeared intoxicated to the officer, according to the complaint. During the interview, McDonald reportedly admitted to the officer that both him and Shannon Bryant were naked and attempted to have sexual relations while driving. According to the criminal complaint, McDonald also admitted to the switching of seats and making Shannon Bryant drive, even though he knew she was intoxicated.
I might have missed it because I was so mad you got my story. Did you get to the part where they discovered the thing was stolen?
Yeah, they ran the plates and they figured out it was stolen. And then they found a bunch of drug paraphernalia, like a white powdery substance and a leafy substance consistent with marijuana.
You see, Clark, that there is an RV. Yeah, you steal the RV and...
you steal Matt Murphy's story.
You know, when the trailer's rocking, don't come a-knocking. Oh, that's okay. I mean, we'll talk. We'll talk later there, Jackson, because I guarantee you we're sourcing from the same place because I saw that story today. I couldn't help
What website?
Smoking Gun.
Oh, I have FARK.
Oh, yeah, Fark's good too, but Smoking Gun's where I go. All right, but I've got this one. That's okay. I can call it an audible with the best of them. A Florida man who cops believe was stabbed in a drug dispute was in surgery when a nurse discovered a glass crack pipe, lighter, and tinfoil containing cocaine. I'll give you boys 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count where she found this stuff.
Keister?
Up the old poop chute.
The Keister.
The Keister. The Keister. That's good, Jason. Yeah, that's right. The surprising, rectum. The surprising find occurred earlier this month at the St. Petersburg Bayfront Hospital, where Michael O'Donnell was transported for a knife wound. The 43-year-old was in surgery, and an RN located the stashed items, according to the affidavit. After being hospitalized for his injuries, O'Neill, pictured at right, and I've got a mugshot of the guy, and he looks exactly like you might imagine him, with little crossed eyes, which if I had all of that up my rectum, I'd have crossed eyes too, was booked into jail for cocaine possession, a felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, a misdemeanor. O'Neill was released from custody after posting a $5,500 bond, pleaded not guilty to the charges. O'Neill has been convicted of numerous drug-related counts, including possession of cocaine, DUI, methamphetamines, fentanyl, and narcotics paraphernalia, pleaded guilty last year to drug possession. But, yes, they were engaged in a surgery to help him with a stab wound when they discovered a glass crack pipe, a lighter, and tinfoil where the sun don't shine.
The tinfoil, that's got a scratch.
I mean, you'd think.
The lighter might, too.
I don't know how I got million. Yeah, I hope it wasn't a Zippo.
What if you sit wrong and the lighter ignites and ignites the tinfoil? You're going through a whole big problem down there.
I mean, you found a new way to get high, I suppose.
That's a big issue. No, it's not lighting the crack. It's igniting the aluminum foil.
Wait, which crack?
It's igniting his crack.
Oh, yeah. Lots of cracks going on. That's how you play Nincompoops in the news. You get to vote. 615-737-9986. Vote for Weaver, vote for Jackson, or vote the right way for Murphy on Super Talk text line 615-737-9986. Back to more serious stuff when we return, to include James Comey and John Brennan. Two more deserving individuals have been investigated. I mean, they're deserving of a little jail time in my estimation. We'll give you the details coming up next.
A major employer in Middle Tennessee has shut down early. This story and more coming up at 6 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Looking forward to that. Right now, Murphy's in the lead. I guess I'll leave voting open until 6. I am. I'm.
This has to be
you can
sympathy.
tally this up on your own there. Don't shake your head at me, Jackson. I got 10 votes. Jackson has 7 votes. And Ken Weaver has 3 votes. So there you go. I mean, I'm letting you know. I mean, and I feel bad for Ken because he had his A story, the Key West story, and he had to divert to the B story. But that happens sometimes. Also, 0142 said it's still pronounced conch, not conch. Thank you. We had to go to the Oxford Dictionary, and they pronounced it conch. And then I was still told, Ken, that we were wrong because they were like, well, that's how the English do it. We're America. We speak American. We speak American. Okay.
Six
whatever. But then 0142 says something, and I want to just, look, I'm not here to tell you how you do your thing. But 0142, you said, also, I'm trying to quit smoking. I could use prayers and encouragement. Love y'all at WTN.
You got it, buddy. Or lady.
Yes, ma'am or sir, you absolutely have our encouragement. But here's what I would say to you. This is one other thing my grandfather told me, and it stuck with me. He said, a mistake that people make, they talk about they're trying to quit. They're trying to quit. I'm trying to quit, trying to quit, trying to quit. Mm-hmm. He said, you either smoke or you don't.
Yes, sir.
And if you say the words, I'm trying to quit, what you are telling yourself is that you still smoke. How about I don't smoke? And 0142, I'm telling you, and I was there, I smoked a pack and a half a day. Ken Weaver's been there.
Yeah.
If you have those cravings and man, it's coming on you hard and you just want a cigarette more, you just feel like you can eat it. You look yourself in the mirror and you say, I don't smoke.
That's right.
I don't smoke. Why would I pick up a cigarette and light it? I don't smoke. It's not I'm trying to quit. I don't smoke.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was this way with you too, Murphy, but for me, I had to quit cold turkey.
Yeah, I did too.
I just had to quit.
Yeah, I did too.
No patches, no gum, anything like that. You just got to quit.
Yeah, I did. And
it's hard.
And what I did, and I don't know what this did for me, but I think I created a tangible thing out of something intangible, Ken. I counted. Every day I got up in the morning and because it created an investment. Because, it's day 1, it's day 2, it's day 3. And then eventually it was day 45. And I said, if I have a cigarette, one little puff, I go from 45 to 0.
Right.
And I was like, I can't do that. I would have wasted 45 days if I do that.
That's right.
Ken, the last day that I actively counted was day 422. And I don't know why, but I was like, you know what? I don't have to count anymore. So she's a lady, ma'am. Good luck. Oh, it's our favorite grammar Nazi. Oh, yeah, I love you. English teacher, thank you, ma'am, and good luck. You don't smoke. Ma'am, you don't smoke. You're not trying to quit. You don't smoke. You know who does the news, though? That's Ken Weaver. He's not in the newsroom. He's down in Murfreesboro at home base, but he's got the headlines right now on Super Talk.